Communities rely on police and prosecutors to protect them from crime and injustice. Working with community members allows police and prosecutors to effectively reduce crime, protect communities, and ensure justice. Law enforcement leaders support agency practice to strengthen community relations. So, hey guys, we at GSN Law welcome you to the new topic Law Enforcement Agencies of India. This topic will be beneficial for the aspirants of UPSC, State PCS examination, and Judicial Services examination. Today, we will be dealing with the three prime investigating agencies of India, namely the Central Bureau of Investigation, the Narcotics Control Bureau, the Enforcement Directorate. So, let's start with our first investigating agency, the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. CBI traces its origin to the Special Police Establishment, which was set up in 1941 by the Government of India. The then function was to investigate the cases of bribery and corruption in transactions with the War and Supply Department of India during the World War II. Currently, the Central Bureau of Investigation works under the Department of Personnel, that is under the Ministry of Personnel, Pension and Public Grievances, Government of India. The CBI acquired its popular name through a Home Ministry's resolution dated back to 1st of April 1963. Now, CBI is the nodal police agency in India, which also coordinates the investigation on behalf of Interpol members. With regards to CBC, have a current affairs point as well that the new CBC of India is Mr. Sanjay Kothari. This can be a pre-question for you all. Now, the committee which recommended the formation of Central Bureau of Investigation was the Santhanam Committee. Mr. D.P. Kohli was the founding director of CBI and the current director of CBI is Mr. Rishi Kumar Shukla. He is an IPS officer with the rank of Director General of Police. The headquarters of Central Bureau of Investigation is at New Delhi. With regards to the director, there is an appointment committee which appoints the director for CBI. The appointment committee is constituted under the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946. The appointment committee consists of the chairperson, that is the Honorable Prime Minister of India, the leader of opposition of Lok Sabha or the leader of single largest opposition party in the Lok Sabha, and the Chief Justice of India or any Supreme Court judge that is recommended by the Chief Justice of India. Now, as stated earlier, CBI derives its investigation power from the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946. This can be a direct pre-question for you guys. Now, Section 2 of the Act vests the DSPE, the Delhi Special Police Establishment, to investigate the offences in the Union Territories only. Section 2. And Section 5, Subclause 1 of the Act grants the power to the central government to extend the jurisdiction of Central Bureau of Investigation to the areas including the railways and the states. Now, with regards to the divisions and departments of the Central Bureau of Investigation, it consists of the 7 divisions, that is the Anti-Corruption Division, the Economic Offences Division, the Special Crimes Division, the Directorate of Prosecution, the Administrative Division, the Policy and Coordination Division, and Central Forensic Science Laboratory. Now, as I have stated earlier, Central Bureau of Investigation acts as a central nodal agency in coordinating with the Interpol. So, the Policy and Coordination Division of Central Bureau of Investigation acts as an Interpol unit within CBI. Now, CBI and Interpol work hand in hand in relation to the offenders who have fled the country by issuing the red corner notices, the blue corner notices, the green corner notices. Now, as we all know that police is a state subject, so maintaining the law and order is the state responsibility. But CBI has a far more functions to do. CBI, being a union subject, may investigate the following offences, that is the cases involving the financial interest of the central government, the major frauds and embezzlements, and the multi-state organized crimes, the multi-agency or international cases. Now, CBI is also involved in collection of criminal intelligence pertaining to the 3 of its main areas of operation, visually the anti-corruption. Now, anti-corruption, CBI acts against the chief ministers, the secretaries to the government of India, the officers of all India services, the CMDs of the banks, the public sector undertakings, etc. And the economic crimes and the special crimes that are allotted to the Central Bureau of Investigation. Now, here is a brownie point for you, which can be a statement question or a pre-question for you. That is CBI exempted from the Right of Information Act 2005? The answer is yes. CBI is exempted from the RTI Act 2005 on the grounds of national security. Now, talking about the autonomy of the Central Bureau of Investigation, some form of autonomy has been granted by the Supreme Court of India to CBI when it held that the CBI can prosecute senior bureaucrats without central government's permission. Supreme Court of India has also held that Section 6A of Delhi Special Police Establishment Act is unconstitutional. Now, among the major cases that has been solved by the Central Bureau of Investigation are the Bhanwari Devi murder case, the Satyam scandal, the Sister Abhya murder case, and the INX media case in which the former Home Minister of India, Mr. P. Chidambaram, was prosecuted. Also, as said, the glory doesn't come with the controversies and criticism. The CBI has been criticized for being a caged parrot speaking in its master voice due to its excessive political interference. This has been rightly stated by the Supreme Court in various cases like the 2G Colgate scam, the CWG scam, and whatnot. CBI has also been criticized for dragging its feet in investigating prominent politicians like P.V. Narasimha Rao, the former Prime Minister, Ms. J. Jayalalitha, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Mayawati, and Mulayam Singh, and their tactics had led them to their acquittal or the non-prosecution. It was the Central Bureau of Investigation in the Bofors scandal where Bofors gun were to be purchased and CBI freezed the account of the main accused, the Quattrochi, and after the communication with the CBI, the Interpol took the name of from the wanted list and withdrew the red corner notice against him. Also, in the Hawala scam, that is the Vineet Narayan versus Union of India case, in the Bhopal gas tragedy, the Indian coal gate scam, 2G spectrum cases, etc., where Supreme Court has reprimanded the role of CBI and termed it as a caged parrot. Hence, the Central Bureau of Investigation needs to be freed from the political interference so that it can have a greater autonomy in performing the functions allotted to it. Now, our second premier agency is Narcotics Control Bureau, NCB. Narcotics Control Bureau is the apex drug law enforcement agency of India. It was constituted on 17th of March 1986. It works under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Our Minister for the Home Affairs is Mr. Amit Shah. Headquarters of NCB is in New Delhi. The Director General of Narcotics Control Bureau is an officer of the Indian Police Service or the Indian Revenue Services, the IRS. The current Director of Narcotics Control Bureau is Mr. Rakesh Asthana, a Gujarat cadre 1984 IPS officer. The NCB is governed by the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic NDPS Act 1985. The Narcotics Control Bureau is also represented on the Economic Intelligence Council that works under the Ministry of Finance. Now there is a constitutional obligation as well. Article 47 of the Directive Principles of State Policy of the Constitution of India requires to endeavor to bring about a prohibition on the consumption except for medicinal purposes of intoxicating drugs injurious to health. Hence, a national policy on narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances was framed. Now, India is also signatory to few of the United Nations Organization conventions with regards to the drugs, that are the United Nations Convention on Narcotic Drugs 1961. This was amended in 1972 protocol. The Convention on Psychotropic Substances 1971 and the United Nations Convention Against Illicit Traffic in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances 1988 and the Transnational Crime Convention 2000. Now, since India is a signatory to following conventions, the Government of India formulated few central acts to have a check on the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances, namely the Drugs and the Cosmetics Act 1940, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, the Prevention of Illicit Traffic in Narcotics and Psychotropic Substances Act 1988. So this can be a pre and a main question, and you can also use both of these points in the mains answer as well. Now, talking about the functions of the NCB, the chief purpose of NCB is to fight drug trafficking on all India level. It works in close cooperation with the other departments, that are the Customs and Central Excise GST, the State Police Departments, the Central Bureau of Investigation, and the Central Economic Intelligence Bureau CEIB. It also provides resources and training to the personnel of India's drug law enforcement agencies in fighting the drug trafficking. Now, talking about the drug menace in India, why this drug problem has dug deep inside the Indian soil. Now, the government of India needs to take care of the porous borders with regards to the countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar, through which the illicit drug trafficking takes place on a high scale. Not only by including this in the school curriculum, we must also have the counseling sessions for the youth who have already been by this drug problem, raise awareness about how this all hurt lives emotionally, mentally, and physically, and share and spread our newfound knowledge and help raise awareness about the drugs, alcohols, and the psychotropic substances. So this was all about the law enforcement agencies of India. I hope the lecture would be beneficial for you and adds to your knowledge. Thank you very much. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.